y'all, Dixie here. I have done fireside stories before, and tonight I want to tell you about one that's really funny to me looking back, but shows how humbling backpacking and especially a thru hike can be. My friend Rebel Yell and I were taking a break near Dragon's Tooth, which is a beautiful area in Virginia in the McAfee Knob, Tinker Cliffs vicinity. So there are a lot of day hikers coming up to check out Dragon's Tooth and see the views. Well, we were about a day or so out of our next town stop, and if you've ever been backpacking, you'll know that the day before you get to town, your food bag has pretty much dwindled down to slim pickings. It's kind of like Halloween candy after several weeks. You just have your least favorite things left, and you're not real thrilled about anything you got in your food bag at that point. So I was eating something that I wasn't real crazy about when this dad and his two children came day hiking up to Dragon's Tooth area to have themselves a little picnic. And I was talking to the dad, and the little girl, who was probably about 3 to 4 years old, was walking around and talking to us, and she was eating this fantastic looking turkey sandwich. It was very fresh with juicy meat and lettuce and mayonnaise and tomato, and I really had never been tempted to take food from a child, but she kept coming by and offering me some of her lunch. She had the sandwich and a side of Cheetos. Politely, I declined a couple of times, but make no mistake about it, I wanted her lunch badly. A few minutes later, we were chatting with the dad, and I noticed the little girl dropped a Cheeto. And as soon as I watched it hit the dirt, my mouth watered, like a wild animal or like a dog begging for food at a table. It looked so delicious sitting there in the dirt. But the funny thing is, out of the corner of my eye, when I noticed that Cheeto hit the ground, I saw that Rebel Yell also noticed that Cheeto hit the ground. And without saying a word to one another, there was this silent understanding that when these people left, we were fixing a race for that Cheeto. So I kept watching as this little girl paced back and forth, and each time she stepped near that Cheeto, I just feared that she was going to crunch it into smithereens and it would just be dust in the dirt. But after what felt like an eternity of talking to these folks, the dad finally said, "Well, kids, I guess we better get going back down the trail." So they gathered up their stuff, and Rebel Yell and I excitedly said goodbye, because even though we both wanted that Cheeto right then, we still had a little bit of pride about ourselves to actually wait until they left. And we watched them turn around and start going down the trail. And just when they nearly got out of sight, the dad kind of stiffened up, and he whipped around and he said, "Oh, leave no trace." And he bent down and he picked up that Cheeto. And I have to be honest, I have never been so disappointed to see a piece of food that was on the ground leave my presence. But somehow in all of my disappointment, I realized, wow, how humbling is this moment? Because just a couple of months ago, I was this highfalutin engineer in my high-rise office in Denver, Colorado, and this day I happened to be a stinky hiker that was about to race my friend as if it was a life or death situation for a dirty Cheeto. Anyway, I feel like this is one of those moments on trail that can't be explained unless you've felt that hiker hunger that seems like it can't be satiated. So just know, if you decide to thru hike a long distance trail, it will probably humble you in ways that you can't even imagine. If any of y'all have stories like this, or moments when you were on trail and you were willing to do something that you thought in normal life you'd never actually do, then I'd love to hear those in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go if you enjoyed this story time, and we'll see y'all next time.